giant storm was approaching. Typhoon Doksuri, a swirling monster of wind and rain, barreled toward China. Warnings were issued, cities prepared, and millions braced for the unknown. This was not just another storm, it was one of the most powerful typhoons in recent memory. On July 28th, Doksuri made landfall. Coastal cities were hit with destructive force. Roofs were torn apart, trees snapped like twigs, and electricity failed in many areas. Streets filled with debris as the storm pushed seawater inland. Residents fled, struggling to protect their homes from the surging flood. The rain poured relentlessly. Streets became rivers, cars floated like toys, and bridges collapsed. Neighborhoods disappeared under muddy torrents. Families waded through waist-deep water, carrying only what they could hold, while rescue teams navigated the chaos, guiding people to safety. As hours passed, time itself seemed to vanish. The storm was endless. Rain hammering roofs, wind shaking walls, and streets disappearing into rushing water. Escape was no longer possible. For millions, all that remained was waiting and hoping the nightmare would finally end. One survivor later said, "It felt endless. The rain, the fear, we just hoped it would stop." Even Beijing was not spared. Airports shut down, flights were canceled, and highways collapsed under landslides and floodwaters. Millions were stranded with no way to leave. For many areas, rainfall levels had not been seen in over a century. Chaos took over every corner of the city. Floodwaters surged through main avenues and quiet neighborhoods alike. Streetlights flickered, sirens wailed, and the roar of rushing water drowned out everything else. Cars toppled and floated helplessly, while the city itself seemed frozen, powerless against nature's might. The scale of the disaster was impossible to ignore.
火哥大桥冲短喽！
The storm was not only water, it was wind. Gusts tore through the city at hurricane force, ripping rooftops from homes and shattering windows. Trees snapped like matchsticks, power poles collapsed, and debris turned into dangerous projectiles. The roar of the wind mixed with the floodwaters, creating a chaos few could ever forget.
係我你冇嘅，嗰係我都係咩料人料，小字料，鬥㗎！
呢對，啦，連好嘅路我交我夾我。
The relentless rains triggered deadly landslides. Hillsides collapsed without warning, burying homes and cutting off mountain roads. Entire slopes slid into rivers, sending walls of mud racing downstream. For communities in the hills, the danger came not from the flood, but from the earth itself turning against them. When the storm finally passed, the destruction was staggering. Homes ruined, streets buried in mud, and lives torn apart. Rescue teams continued searching for survivors. Doksuri left scars that would take years to heal on the land and in the hearts of those who endured it. Doksuri was not just China's storm. Around the world, stronger typhoons, floods, and heat waves are becoming the new reality. Each disaster is part of a bigger story, a planet under pressure. Stay informed, witness the events as they unfold, and subscribe to our channel to follow the latest updates on nature's most powerful forces.